There are some passengers you never forget, not because they were loud, not because they caused trouble, but because they should never have been there in the first place. This happened 3 years ago. I used to drive a jeepney on the night route between two quiet provinces. The route was long, the roads were dark, and after midnight, almost nobody rode anymore. Almost nobody. Because every driver who worked that route knew one thing: there was always one last passenger, and if he ever boarded your jeepney, you prayed he wouldn't choose the seat behind you. For 7 years, I drove the same route. Every night, same roads, same towns, same faces. By midnight, the streets would empty. Stores closed. Street vendors disappeared. Even stray dogs seemed to avoid the highway. The only sounds were the jeepney engine and the occasional wind rattling through the trees. People told stories about the highway, disappearances, accidents, bodies found in ditches. I never believed any of it. Ghost stories were just stories. At least, that's what I thought. One rainy night, another driver named Ben approached me. He looked exhausted, pale, shaking. He asked, "Have you ever picked up the last passenger?" I laughed. "What passenger?" His face didn't change. "The one who rides after 2 a.m. I told him he was crazy. Ben didn't laugh. Instead, he said, "If he boards your jeepney, don't look at him through the mirror." Then he walked away. I didn't see him again after that night. 2 weeks later, he disappeared. 3 months later, 2:17 a.m. Heavy rain. The road was completely empty. No houses, no lights, no traffic, nothing. Then I saw someone standing beside the highway, alone, holding an umbrella, waiting. I almost drove past, but passengers were passengers. I stopped. The figure climbed aboard, slowly, silently, never saying a word. At first, nothing seemed unusual. The passenger sat near the back, head lowered, face hidden. Rainwater dripped from his clothes. I started driving. 5 minutes passed, then 10, then 15. No movement, no sound, no request to stop. Then I noticed something strange. I couldn't hear him breathing, not even once. I remembered Ben's warning, "Don't look through the mirror," which immediately made me want to. I glanced up, just for a second. The seat was empty. My heart stopped. I slammed the brakes, looked over my shoulder. The passenger was still there, sitting exactly where he'd been, motionless, watching me. The road ahead vanished into fog. The passenger slowly raised his head, and I finally saw his face, or what was left of it. One eye missing, skin torn, jaw broken, as if he had been crushed, like a victim of a terrible accident. Yet somehow he smiled. Then something impossible happened. More people appeared inside the jeepney. I never stopped. I never opened the door. But suddenly, every seat was occupied. A woman holding a blood-stained handbag, an old man with a broken neck, a child staring blankly out the window, all soaked, all silent, all dead. The jeepney's engine began sputtering. The fog outside thickened. Road signs disappeared. The world became grey. Then I saw something horrifying. The highway was crowded, thousands of people walking, all heading in the same direction, none of them alive. The first passenger finally spoke. His voice sounded distant, like it came from underwater. He pointed ahead. A ruined bus stop stood alone in the fog. "Stop here." I didn't want to, but my foot pressed the brake anyway, as if something else controlled it. The jeepney stopped. Every passenger stood at the same time. One by one, they stepped off. The child, the woman, the old man, dozens of others, walking into the fog, disappearing, until only the first passenger remained, standing beside my seat, smiling. He leaned close, close enough for me to smell wet soil, then whispered, "You weren't supposed to survive." My blood froze, because at that moment I remembered something. 5 years earlier, I had fallen asleep while driving. I crashed. A bus hit my jeepney. Many people died, including the passenger standing beside me. The man smiled wider. "You forgot." Then he stepped off, vanishing into the fog. The moment he disappeared, the road returned. The fog vanished. The engine roared back to life. Everything looked normal, except for one thing. Every seat in my jeepney was wet, as if dozens of passengers had been sitting there. I quit driving that route the next day, but sometimes, when rain falls after midnight, I still see an old jeepney in the distance, driving through the fog, packed with silent passengers, and behind the wheel is a man who looks exactly like me. And if you ever ride a jeepney alone at 2 a.m., count the passengers carefully, because sometimes the last one isn't alive.